You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate. We're nice now. And, hey, we're recording.
Yes.
Hello, friends of rugby. You're listening to the Friends of Rugby.
Yes, welcome back.
Welcome back. How you doing, Frank?
Yeah, I'm good. You caught me off guard there.
I did catch you off guard because I just pressed the record button.
Yeah, we were mid-argument and you hit record. You son of a bitch.
Sorry, I just, you got to start off on a high.
That's fair. Yeah, the energy is there.
Yeah.
The energy is there. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
All right.
Do you want to let the people know the date just in case a
I would
fucking
love
time
to.
traveler is listening to
I
this and
would
needs to know
love
where he
to.
is?
Yeah, it's for... there are good reasons for doing this. It's the 28th of January.
There you go.
It's 11:16 a.m. in Canadian time, one of the time zones.
So if you have any kind of like Marty McFly fucking situation, you'll know. If you listen to the podcast,
Yeah.
you'll know exactly where you are, what
Yeah.
date,
Yeah.
maybe a few days ahead or behind, but
I listen back to these to reflect on my life,
yeah.
I use it as a bookmark for good and bad moments in my life. That's why I do it.
So what do you want to start off the conversation here?
Excellent introductory question,
Yeah.
Stephen. We're going to talk about the Netflix documentary first.
Okay, honestly,
Yeah.
I've been waiting all week to talk about this after texting with you
Yeah.
about this. I could not wait to talk about
We
this.
have some very different thoughts. Tell me what you think.
No. We're not starting with me. We're not starting with me. We're starting with you. We're putting you on the table. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I felt like it was like you, I was excited. I was like, this is the thing that puts rugby on the global map. This brings in all the chuds who watch NFL. We get them. They're hooked. They're like, this is live action NFL. There's no more turns. It's pure sport. And then I watched it and it was like the most dialed in, boring documentary. It was the potential was immense. They've obviously got this huge budget and then they release a documentary they filmed the year of a World Cup after a World Cup. They managed to find the most boring stories. Oh man, I hated it. I watched like 3 episodes.
Was it because Wales wasn't highlighted until episode 4? You didn't even get to see them yet.
I haven't even seen them. I didn't even know they were in it. And then they've interviewed people with the Wales people I saw in it, Dan Bigger and Lewis Rees. They don't even play for Wales anymore. And they knew that and they released it and it's like, what were you doing? I know they didn't know that at the time, but yeah. Such a waste of potential. And it's like, I watched that Welcome to Wrexham documentary, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing because they've got a little nice Englishman every now and again explaining the rules of football for a presumably American audience. That's smart, right? Rugby's complicated and they don't tell you the rules. There's also scenes where they're showing footage from a game and they've somehow filmed it and it makes it feel like the stadium is empty. There's 80,000 people watching a high-stakes game of rugby and in the documentary they've made it look like an empty stadium. I don't know how they've done it. It's actually impressive. I did not like it at all.
Were you just sitting there, were you just cringing the whole time?
Cringing. I was not even interested. I was like, I know what happened in this game. The narrative you created around it is boring. The episode they had, it was like the Finn Russell versus Marcus Smith, and they tried to make it out like you've got the young guy versus the Maverick, and he's had an argument with Gregor Townsend. I see what they were trying to do, but as a rugby fan, I'm aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a rugby fan, they didn't do enough in explaining the rules of the game for me to be engaged in what he's doing, right? Like just, they won? Okay, cool.
You didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it, no.
You didn't feel moved.
I think the thing is, Six Nations is about the rivalries and the fans and and in rugby, it's one of those sports, it's such a team sport. If you stick your head above the parapet and say, I'm a big personality, it's kind of taboo. So a lot of the players they interviewed, they just don't have they're scared to show their personality, right? And I felt that. It was boring.
Andrew Porter, talking about
he
his
was good,
parents
actually.
dying.
He was good. Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty out there. That's pretty deep.
Him and Alice Genge, I thought were very entertaining, but that's
You didn't
it.
think Finn Russell was entertaining?
Not really.
Oh my god.
No, not really. Because it was like, oh, I'm a maverick. I'm like Messi. Yeah.
He shook up the internet with that comment.
And I actually feel bad for him because that comment was obviously a joke, and everyone, all these like stupid memes on the internet is like, he actually thinks he's like Messi.
I think
like, no, he doesn't.
The majority of people could understand that. I think there's only like rugby boomers like you. That's what I think you are. When I was reading your text about this show, I was like, Frank is a fucking rugby boomer.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, you're just creeping on rugby Karen.
Maybe I am. Well, do you know what? Like,
there's not enough fans.
It's wasted potential, though. Like, I was excited because this is the thing. This is the Formula One documentary that gets people to know about the sport, right?
When I was online and I was reading about the show and I was seeing comments about the show, your take was very similar to a lot of fans.
It's because I'm right.
And I'm like, this documentary is not for you guys. It's not for us.
Who is it for?
Because
it's not for people who don't know rugby. That's for sure.
People that don't know rugby.
Well, explain the fucking rules then, please.
Yeah, I don't think that's not. It's to showcase the what's the word I'm looking for? The spectacle.
Right.
And I thought it did that really well.
I could not disagree more.
First thing that I noticed too, it really highlights the violence of rugby.
It did that well.
It really makes the sport look really violent.
Yeah.
Like when they're going into contact and there's all this added sound effects.
And you hear the chunky smash noises.
It's all added, but it made it look so much more physical. I'm not gonna say it's not more physical than it is, but it just really highlighted the physicality of the sport.
Yeah.
I loved I wish it would actually go more into depth, a lot more players.
Yeah.
Because like one episode kind of highlights one or two players.
Yeah.
And then the teams facing off against each other.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of the players' lives and stuff. Like let's be honest, when I was watching it, it wasn't anything much different than you can see a YouTube guy making.
Well, that's kind of the point I'm making. They've got all this money. And
it's reach and the Netflix behind it. Like I've had in this week so many people message me and talk to me about rugby that have never talked about rugby, never seen rugby, still haven't seen a game.
That's good.
And asking me questions.
Right, because the documentary didn't explain the questions they probably had.
They had, I don't think that wasn't the point. The point was to highlight the spectacle of rugby. And I think it worked.
Okay.
Anecdotally, like what I've experienced personally.
Yeah.
I think it's working. I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Like having people like that have never seen rugby asking me about rugby. Who's this guy?
Who's this? Yeah. Andrew Porter.
When is this?
With his ear
when is
hanging
this
off.
Six Nations thing happening? I'm like, oh, it's happening next weekend. Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Like I got people coming over next weekend now that want to watch this tournament.
Shit. Maybe I'm upset because Wales are going to be terrible in the year that everyone starts liking rugby.
Yeah.
That's why I'm angry.
I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I can see how like rugby fans like were kind of let down, I guess. I don't know what. You can never make anyone happy.
That's true.
You know what? You can't make rugby fans happy.
No, we're a miserable bunch of people. I will accept that. Oh yeah, I'm totally cynical about the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I was just like, when I was seeing that response from people, non-rugby fans.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we need. We need more types of stuff like that. I know the UFC does something like that. They do that on YouTube.
Yeah.
They have these like highlight videos, these like build up videos for each fight, and after you watch the fight you care about the fight, right? And that's what's happening with these people that are watching it that don't know rugby. They're getting hyped about this, like, oh, I need to see this like fucking field war in Europe. Yeah, that's what it essentially is. They highlight, I forget his name, I think it was episode 3 or something like that with some Italian player, and I felt kind of bad for him. He's like, my role is the most physical role, and he like had some like major incident on the field where he like was choking on his own tongue.
Jeez.
And Ellis Genge actually helped him like stop the play and stuff.
Man of the people, Ellis Genge.
Yeah, and he's like, I just gotta get out of my head and stuff like that. And then the rest of the video is just him just smashing his body into people and shit like that. So it makes it look sad. It kind of actually made me feel sad for him, but it was just like, I know like when I like play rugby in the summer and stuff, and like come to work with like black eyes and shit like that. People are like, holy shit! Like they think that I'm like
some kind of badass. Yeah,
I'm playing MMA with a ball. Yeah. So I don't know. I really like. I don't know. I think they highlighted the right things.
Yeah.
In this documentary, and I enjoy it. I hope they make another season. I wish they'd do it like a rugby championship one.
Well, okay. So the next thing I was going to say about it is there is a precedent, right? There is, rugby's one of the first sports to record itself in a documentary way. Like those Lions documentaries, like Lions Raw and Living with Lions. I don't know another sport that was doing that in the 90s. And they used to release these VHS tapes that my dad used to have, and I'd stick them on, and it was the same idea, and they were amazing, right? Because that was the first time I'd ever seen a rugby player as a human instead of just as a person on a field. So rugby's been doing this for as long as any sport, maybe longer.
Yeah, but where is it?
It's on a VHS in my dad's house.
That's the problem.
It is the problem. But, we've got the technology to do this. Why I'm upset? Because you have the perfect opportunity to actually reach an audience now, and it's just this dialed in...
I think they've done a great job.
Fair enough.
I think they're targeting... I think that the people that they want to target...
Yeah, it sounds like it. Maybe I'm
they're
wrong.
hitting.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Right? And I don't know, what else you need.
Rules explained for the newbies, and a little bit of a better angle on the narratives.
Yeah, they might have had some kind of short segments where it goes into a graphic where they kind of explain a rule and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But it might kill the vibe that they were trying to go with.
Watch that Welcome to Wrexham thing. It's perfect.
Yeah. I need to watch their other documentary, the F1 series.
I heard that's really good.
Yeah.
And I hate F1 so much that I don't want to give myself a chance to get into it. I'm scared I like it, so I'm not going to watch it.
Just into it?
Yeah, I'm terrified.
Steve, we got to start an F1 podcast.
Oh, no. I'm very impressionable as well, so that might happen, so I'm just staying the hell away from it, And
I thought they highlighted a lot of characters. I wanted more rugby players in it.
Yeah.
I wanted more.
Yeah.
And who they did show, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Finn Russell with that Messi comment just blew up the fucking internet.
He did.
I fucking loved that.
Yeah, and I appreciate
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. People soccer fans.
Yeah,
they're talking
how
about it.
dare this? Yeah. Scottish person
because they don't
never
even know
heard
who
of.
he is.
No,
right?
of course
so
not.
They're like,
yeah.
what the fuck is this guy? Who is he thinking?
At least he was joking, and I do feel bad for him because everyone's, like you said, all these boomers are losing their mind. How dare you compare himself to Messi? He didn't. He's a fucking joke, right?
So, I bet he didn't think anything of it.
No,
he knew he was taking the piss.
And the producers are like, that's making us millions, boys. Stick it in right now. Stick it in. Yeah.
Yes.
There's another. So remember, there was another documentary, Chasing the Sun, or something like that. It was the South African World Cup 2019 documentary.
Yeah, part 2's coming out soon.
I wept watching that. Manly tears.
I've never seen it. Everyone
so good.
That's watched it has said the same thing.
That bit where Rassie Erasmus is talking about Mapimpi's jersey, and it's only pictures of himself. Everyone else has pictures of their family.
I've seen that bit on YouTube.
Oh, and I was weeping. I was weeping. It's such a good documentary, man, because it talks about the story of South Africa, right? It's not just about the rugby. And I think that's what the Six Nations documentary missed an opportunity on. Talk about the cultures of the countries, how these rivalries are more than just a sport rivalry, right? They were like part of our history and our culture, but they were just like, nah, Finn Russell thinks he's Messi. What do you think about that? Yeah,
there also could be budget constraints too.
I don't know, though.
So, like the time limits... budgets,
maybe.
Maybe they didn't have this is a trial season, right?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
maybe I should say good things. So they definitely do another one. Like anyone gives a shit what I think.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I think this came from the England Union.
Yeah.
Put the money for this.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that there's an organization that used to represent English rugby. They're like. Partnership fell through. I think they're done after this year.
Oh, okay.
And then another company's taking over.
Like an investor or something.
I think that company, they're like a marketing company for England.
Are you thinking of the CVC investment thing?
No, this is something different.
Oh, okay.
And I think these people were behind getting that Netflix show going.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I hope there's more.
I feel
if you look
bad
at
now.
Other sports, if you look at other popular sports, there's shows like this. Dime a dozen.
That's what I'm saying. But
right?
That's why it has to be good to be... to grab an audience, right? Because the market is there. You've got to be good at what you're doing now. That's why I'm annoyed.
But what I've seen from people that don't know rugby watching this, they love it.
Okay, that's good.
They're on the edge of their seats.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah,
they all thought.
And I've had over a dozen people talk to me about this.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's the same thing. Like, oh man, I was on the edge of my seat.
Really,
this is crazy. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
all right. Maybe you made me feel bad now. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's necessary. Yeah, from an old haggard boomer rugby fan. You sound old.
Your version on a rugby Karen.
Maybe
you're gonna be going to Leinster. I can't take a 20-minute train from here into Cardiff.
Still true.
Why are you?
True. It took me 3 hours to get here. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Another rugby documentary that's coming up. I just want to throw this in here real quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for Whistleblowers?
Yes, that looks good. That's the story we want.
That looks deep.
Yeah.
See, this is made for us.
Yeah.
This is not made for someone that doesn't know rugby.
Maybe I'm the wrong audience, but the referee thing, that's the story I want to hear.
That's
like the
juicy.
Cutting edge of rugby narratives, isn't
it's like
it?
A fucking true crime series.
I can't wait to hear some Kiwis talking about how refs have ruined the game, and then you've got Wayne Barrs crying, going, "How dare you!"
They had, I think, if I'm correct, the trailer's like he's like looking out a window and he's like,
single tear.
I want to slit your throat, kill your kids. I was like, holy shit.
Getting death threats and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, fuck, being a ref sucks.
Oh, you wouldn't do it, would you?
I wonder how much they get paid.
Hopefully millions, because it's not an amount of money you could pay me.
Like, it's like there's like most dangerous jobs, underwater welder, like world rugby ref.
Yeah, astronaut.
Right?
Wayne Barnes' job.
Yeah, because like the trailer just starts off deep.
Yeah.
Like just cuts deep
That's
right
what
away.
I want. That's what I want. I want the real, that's the real story right there.
Yeah,
isn't
I think it comes out next month. I didn't check. It's on Rugby Pass TV though.
Okay.
So it's a Rugby Pass exclusive. I wonder if they're gonna put a paywall behind that or something.
Wait,
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll pay to watch it.
Can I watch it with you?
Man. Yeah, you can.
After all the mean things I said about Netflix?
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess we're done talking about you being a rugby boomer.
I think we've established it. I'll wear that label. I don't care. Yeah, whatever.
We should get you a t-shirt.
Rugby boomer. Not even that old, Steve.
If it's rugby, I'm complaining about it.
Fair enough.
What else do you want to get in here? Do you want to look at the weekend's games?
I'm going to talk about the best league, the Gallagher Premiership.
Oh, God. What was your highlights from this weekend?
Oh, Bristol Bath. What a game.
Yeah?
What? Did you watch it?
No.
Okay, that was one of the best games of rugby I've seen this month. It was amazing. Bath, Bristol, like, we've been talking about them not having a bit of spark in them.
Mm-hmm.
Or they had some spark in them.
Do you think it's because they're missing a bunch of internationals? Bath?
That kind of happens around this time of year, right? When everyone goes up to camp.
The Six Nations.
That does happen. Yeah, like around the Six Nations, there'll be some weird results because all their best players are playing for the national side, right? But Bristol looked up for it. They looked up for this game.
I kind of feel bad because I didn't pay attention this weekend to the games because I was like, oh, people are away. These are kind of like throwaway games. But these were games where a lot of kids were going to get thrown in.
Yes.
And a lot of future of the rugby.
Yes.
And I kind of missed out.
I'm often the same, and when I catch a game in this time, it reminds me like these are the games you want to watch because this is like the club without its stars, having to play youngsters, and it was a hell of a game, Yeah,
I kind of missed out that scoreline. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. And then there were a couple of the weird results. So Saracens not having a good time, lost to Exeter.
No,
sorry, they didn't. They beat Exeter. That's what I meant to say.
Pummeled them.
They did, and. I think, similarly, I think Exeter are missing a lot of Welsh guys.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. But, Slade as well, obviously, has gone off to England.
Saracens lost a few, too.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I think, I wonder if Saracens still have that strength in their academy depth, that they can bring out better players from their academy than Exeter can. I don't know.
Yeah, these weekends games really showed like the depths of squads.
Yes,
because this is where they have to like go into like the basement and then grab out the people that have been like forgotten about and throw them on the field.
Yeah, and so similarly, Leicester beat Harlequins by a point. Mike Brown had another game.
Did he?
Comeback of the century.
I wanted a fantasy Six Nations where all these old fucks that had comebacks this year would play.
Yeah, Danny Kerr, Cipriani's going to show up.
What's on the line this year for the Six Nations? Right after World Cup. Just, let loose.
This is the hangover Six Nations,
Yeah, it's the hangover Six Nations.
You maybe vacuum your living room and go back to bed Six Nations.
A lot of like Northern Hemisphere hurt feelings.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, some minor grudges to settle, but no one's got big ambitions here. We just want to hurt someone. But Mike Brown had a game, and I think what I was going to say is Leicester Harlequins. Leicester won by a point. I think that shows probably Leicester's depth a bit, and Harlequins have lost a lot of players to the national squad, so probably something to do with that. Yeah,
you know what? I feel like I missed out. I definitely missed out on some good games this weekend by kind of not paying attention. I was like, there's no relegation in the Prem, so I wasn't like compelled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I missed out.
That's all right. I think
Gloucester got a win finally.
As soon as Louis Rees-Zammit leaves.
Sale's kind of a hot and cold team.
They are, eh?
They're not like a consistent...
I don't know what's going on there. Like, I can't call their games at all. Yeah, totally. So very unpredictable. Yeah.
So that was pretty much there was one URC game.
Lions.
And the Bulls. Yeah.
It was closer than I thought it would be.
2 points difference.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't watch that. I just watched the highlights.
I wasn't going to watch it either.
Yeah. I'm like I said,
I have no interest in watching the South African teams play against each other. I only have interest when they play against when they go up north or when the...
You are such a fucking hypocrite, Steve. You're like, oh, USC, best league, South Africa.
It is. I just don't don't care about watching Glasgow versus Edinburgh.
Oh.
I want to see I like the cross.
You like Ireland.
I'm not what do they call derbies or derbies?
Derbies.
I'm not a derby.
Those are the best games.
That's what you guys all say, but I want to see the clashes from the different unions. That's what I want to see.
That's such like a North American thing to say. You just don't get it. Steve.
It's like watching like Calgary and Edmonton play.
That's a good game
like,
though.
Over and over and over again. It's a good rivalry, but like there's more exciting games. I want to see like them go and play like the Oilers play like one of
the best of the best.
Yeah. Especially when you're used to it.
I don't know. I think this is the key difference between me and you and Europeans and North Americans with rugby. Like the derbies are what we live for.
Yeah, what we look for in sports in North America is completely different.
I think so. I think that's what we're
like
getting
what
at.
We highlight is just the whole culture is different.
Yeah.
Like what makes like a spectacle here and what makes a spectacle over there.
I think so. We're petty, vengeful bastards who would rather beat England than win a World Cup. You in North America just want to be we're number one. We're number one. Want to beat the best. I get it. That's fine. But I just want to be a petty little bastard who beat the team that beat us 6 months ago, regardless of what state they're currently in. I love that. So.
Yeah. So that was the weekend's games.
Yeah, it was.
Do you have anything else to put in there?
No, I don't think so. There was nothing else really eye-catching. There was less rugby this week. Yeah.
Then next week, Rugby Christmas starts.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Do you want to talk about some rugby news?
Yeah, why don't you go? Tell me a little bit about...
There's something that came under the radar that I forgot was happening.
Okay.
Kind of a big deal.
Okay.
Kind of an exciting thing.
Yeah.
The Crusaders.
Yeah.
Christchurch Crusaders.
Yeah.
Coming up to Ireland to play Munster.
That's a big deal.
I completely forgot this game is happening.
Scheduling it a week before the Six Nations is a bit weird as well, isn't it?
Well, it's been scheduled for a while.
Right.
Like I read about this a while ago.
Yeah.
I knew it was happening soon.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot about it.
But why are they playing it a week before the Six Nations is what I'm asking.
They're not playing it a week before Six Nations.
Aren't they playing it next weekend?
No, their kickoff is at the same time as one of the games.
Oh, it's on the same weekend as the
Yes,
Six Nations?
this Saturday.
That's even worse. That's not better.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? That's stupid.
I thought it was like, I was looking at the time. I think it kicks off, I can't remember, it kicks off roughly around the same time as one of the games.
And I heard Crusaders are bringing a good team.
No.
Oh.
They're bringing kind of a developing like squad. They're bringing their kids.
Oh, okay. So presumably Munster will do the same.
Yeah, they're resting some. Their All Blacks are rested.
This is like the ultimate question: whose club teams are better than North or the South, and they're playing at the same time as the Six Nations game?
I don't know. I think with these two squads that they're probably going to throw in this game is, I think they're both just throwing the kids in.
Well, Munster would have to. They've lost a lot of their key players to.
Yeah, they're going for the Six Nations. Like the Crusaders rested a lot of their All Blacks.
Right.
So they have a new coach. I think they're just using this game to.
You're not selling this to me.
It's not really. It was hard to sell.
It's the development game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a development game. I think it's exciting.
I thought it was the ultimate clash of titans, North versus South. This is what you're just telling me about.
I would love to see. I don't want to see a whole Club World Cup. I don't think I need that, but I would love to see like one-offs like this more often.
Yeah, do them in the summer.
The last time, I might be sure. The last time a Super Rugby team played a Northern Hemisphere club, I think it was Racing 92 versus the Highlanders.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they played in like Hong Kong or Singapore.
Yeah.
And like Racing 92 destroyed them.
Really?
Yeah. So that was the last time I remember something like that happening. It would be interesting to watch if it wasn't on at the same time as the Six Nations.
We have it every weekend, really, though, where we play the South African teams in this mutant freak of a league.
Yeah, but now I'm used to that. I'm used to that now.
The dopamine hit doesn't hit as
good.
good.
The dopamine hit is gone. Yeah, so this is exciting. I want to see New Zealand clubs.
This is the problem with North America, man. You just want your candy all the time. You know, your quick fixes. This is the problem. You got to build petty, nasty rivalries that help you forget about the champions fighting each other.
I just want to see as much rugby as possible. That's all I want.
Yeah, you do. You want it all.
Yeah, and if there's the best players in the world, I want to watch them play all the time.
You want the Harlem Globetrotters of rugby.
Yeah, I want the Harlem Globetrotters of rugby.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch it, but it's on at the same time as a Six Nations game.
Yeah, so it's going to be a highlight watch for me.
Yeah.
Some shitty YouTube highlight.
I'll be rugbyed out. My emotions will be drained by the end of that first day.
Oh, yeah. It's a big game.
Scotland coming to Cardiff.
Yeah.
And we're putting out a bunch of children.
We'll talk about that.
We will.
Yeah. But that's happening this weekend.
Yeah. All right. But Owen Farrell signed for Racing.
92.
What do you think?
The Kim Kardashian. You didn't even
Don't
use
steal
your
my
joke.
joke. Don't steal my joke. I was excited to use it.
Why were we even going to fucking talk about this if you weren't going to use it?
I was going to. You stole it from me.
You were waiting all week.
I was going to prime you to say something.
I fucking took it from
And then I was going to say, the Kim Kardashians of rugby. and everyone was going to laugh again.
You missed the opportunity.
Fuck, you've ruined my moment, mate.
How do I feel? I think it's good for Owen Farrell.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think anyone has anything negative to say. I don't know. What are the rugby boomers? What's going on in the rugby boomers?
I'll consult my WhatsApp group.
Wouldn't it be like 4chan
in my flip phone?
Your flip phone.
Everyone says that this is. I don't think anyone's upset by this actually. I think England rugby seems happy because they've got a good stock of 10s. They've got George Ford, Marcus Smith. You know, Owen Farrell's not eliminating himself from the England squad either, right?
And I honestly think he'll still go on the Lions tour too.
Yeah, the only problem is I think Saracens have suddenly got a really big hole in experience and quality, and they're not playing well enough for that to not be a problem. So
I think this is a good problem for them.
Maybe, Maybe
because they're one of those teams that have been relying on a certain core for so long, and that core is aging out.
That's right. And
they need to change. Everyone's screaming like, "Oh, the Saracens need to change." And I think this kind of is a kick in the right direction for them.
Galvanize them to play some younger fellas.
Yeah, we got to do something different. We got to get someone new, and we got to switch this team up a bit.
Yeah,
because there's just some guys that are just not playing how they used to.
Yeah,
because they're getting older.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for Owen Farrell.
Yeah,
and I think this is a good thing for the Saracens.
And for Racing and for England.
What am I talking about? Fuck those guys. I don't want Saracens to be a good team. I fucking hate.
I'm enjoying their downfall a bit.
They're fucked. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, stop being positive. This is awful for them.
I know, but I always want a competitive team.
No, there's plenty of competition in the Gallagher. They can drop down.
I just don't want to see
they're fine.
Saracens. Well, they'll never turn into a Newcastle, but
no, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I think it's good for both of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Get
Owen Farrell on a beach eating some French omelettes, not worrying about all the pressures of England fans hating him. It's gonna take the pressure off him a bit, and he's already a good player. So,
except how many games does top 14 play a year? Do they have 1 month off? Their league is weird. It goes all year.
It's kind of
almost.
Intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I guess that's how they got to keep playing all year to make that money to pay those players.
But their TV deals are insane. That's why they have so much money, right? That's why they've got way more money and can afford to bring people in. Their TV deals are significantly higher than any other league.
And this is just these TV deals are just for showing in France.
Right. I mean, it's a big country with a lot of money, right?
How many people there? 60 million?
No, a bit more than that. 80?
You think so?
I think around that? It's a little bit more than the UK. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I keep hearing about this TV contracts.
Yeah.
I got to look into this more.
But the thing is, in the towns that rugby is popular in France, it's really popular, in some places in France, football's the main sport. As in most places in France, it's the main sport. But rugby has a huge following in the places where it's popular, south of France, right? So
yeah, and when you're watching a top 14 game, those stadiums are always packed.
They're packed. Yeah, people are setting off flares. It's it reminds me of football hooligans in the UK. They're scrapping in the stands and stuff, and people are just naked and hammered, drunk, loads of noise. Yeah.
Same ways, that's how I feel about Owen Farrell.
Yeah. We're just whatever.
Just
good
whatever.
luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
The Kardashians of rugby.
It's not like anything new. It's not like, he's the first person to do this.
They're not even dramatic like the Kardashians. I wish they would be. Andy Farrell and Owen Farrell have very good media presence.
It's not your joke anymore. It's my joke. I totally took it.
Well, it's a shit joke now, so we fucking enjoy. I've worn it out.
So that was Owen Farrell racing 92.
Yes. And then
a little bit of drama in Australia.
Can they catch a break?
So the rumors of the Melbourne Rebels, the Melbourne.
You got it.
Gotta say it for the Melbourne Rebels.
Yeah, nice.
Going into administration.
Yes.
Now they denied this.
I don't. Who said they were going into administration in the first place? It got
leaked to the media.
Oh, okay.
And then it went viral. This is something I completely believe. I believe the media 100% on this.
Yeah. Why would they lie about that?
Because it's like, oh,
what reason do they have to lie to
an
us?
Australian rugby union team just like going into shambles?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I wonder if the thing I'm thinking about this when I was reading about this, I was like, is this like when the first like snowball starts rolling and then starts collecting more? Like is there an avalanche coming after this?
This is the thing that breaks the camel's back, is it?
Like is there more behind the scenes going on with a bunch of other clubs?
Well, that's how I felt about the Gallagher Premiership, right? So, Worcester, Wasps, London Irish. And then I was like, this is the start of something. But they seem to have stabilized. So you're saying this is the start of something in Australia.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just worried it might be. So, just because of the state and everything, you don't hear anything good.
No, you don't.
I think the only thing good was Joe Schmidt.
That was the good news. I had hope for Australia all of a sudden. And then, this happens. So a couple of things I heard, though, right? Melbourne is a league town, like a big league town.
Yeah.
More so than any other places with a rugby union team. So it's not unexpected. They get like tiny fans there. And then another thing was they dropped Western Force from Super Rugby a while ago. And Western Force, like I think it's in Perth, right?
Yeah.
That's a rugby union place.
They're back.
Yeah, and they were pissed when they got dropped because they were doing reasonably well. Mm-hmm. And it was like, why didn't you drop Melbourne? They don't even like rugby union.
No one even goes to their games.
No one don't even go here. So
they hired a bunch of people from Las Vegas, like hand out all those cards for clubs and restaurants.
Yeah.
Throw them at people to
They've
go to the game.
They've got 5 high schools full of kids in there that got them for free just to like bulk up the numbers. Like,
yeah, the stands are sad.
They are
those games
sad.
In Australia.
Yeah, and I've seen the Dragons, like.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of depressing when you watch that. So I don't know. I just hope because when I think it was the Worcester Warriors.
Yeah.
They were the first team to collapse, right? And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Wasps. What the fuck?
Yeah, and Worcester's big rugby country, right?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like London Irish.
Yeah. This is it. The house is falling. The house of cards is collapsing.
I didn't know where it was going to end.
Yeah.
Like, does this end anywhere? Because then you start hearing like all over the place, there's all these other rumors and stuff like that.
Like Newcastle's got no money.
Yeah, and Leicester didn't pay their players for like they were late, and there was all this bullshit here and there.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I'm just hopefully they can.
Might not be the end of it.
Hopefully.
I think it. What I'm saying is, I think it is the end of it because I don't think Melbourne gives a shit about rugby union. And are
you saying it's the end of the club, or are you thinking the end of the rumor?
No, I think it's the end of the club. I think it's the end of the Melbourne Rebels. I believe the rumor. I just don't think it's like it's going to spread anywhere else. I think those other teams like the Reds and the Brumbies and Western Force are fine.
I just wonder if like Australian rugby, Rugby Australia would let that team fold.
Oh, I see. They might step in and give them some money. I don't know the finances of Australian rugby. It can't be amazing though, can it? Like it seems like it's a dying game.
Yeah. So or
if you're New Zealand, maybe you step in and go, we need you in Super Rugby. If you leave, we're playing that one Fijian team forever.
But you always hear about talks when they're talking about Super Rugby that Australia has too many teams for their talent pool.
Yeah.
So maybe it's good.
Yeah.
For Melbourne to fold.
Yeah.
This might actually be a good thing for the league, for the teams. They'll get filled in with all these other players.
I hope so, because as much as I've said some mean things about Australia, we need Australia to have a good rugby team, not just for themselves, but for the Lions tour coming up.
We don't, fuck that, we don't need them. New Zealand needs them.
They need them more than anyone else.
New Zealand needs
They need them way
Australian
more than anyone
rugby
else.
to like pick up their shit.
Yeah.
Because like that's their main competition now.
Yeah.
They play these guys the most. They need these guys to be.
They need them to exist and be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're playing terrible opposition and they're not getting better.
Because it's not going to be sustainable for New Zealand just to be playing against themselves forever. No. That's gonna have repercussions.
Yeah.
And we already kind of seen that.
And now they can't poach people from Fiji because they've got their own club side. Then
well, they're still doing it. I heard they're still doing it for Moana Pacifica too.
Yeah.
But like that. I don't know. I hopefully, if they go,
Yeah.
But Yeah.
We need an Australian expert, don't
It's just not good news. There's just no fucking good news.
They can't catch a break, can they? It was like Joe Schmidt was like the shining light. This is the line in the sand.
Everyone thought it was going to be turning around.
Yeah, and then on next week, like, club's folded. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. It feels like Welsh rugby, It's like, can we just have a week when nothing fucking horrible happens, please?
You guys have some good news.
Like what? Exactly.
Hold on a second here, just let me get on my Google.
Yeah, what's the good news?
Chat GPT, good news. Welsh. What is? Sorry, I don't understand. There's some good stuff. You got
like what?
Warren Gatlin.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. Daddy's home. That's what I like.
But, you got
yeah, we do. You got that nice stadium. People like your stadium.
The people.
The people
of Wales.
I'm a miserable git.
You are, aren't you?
I just want some good news. Like, the people are dying,
Maybe Wales and Australia should just make a league together.
Oh, shut up.
Don't
even say that in jest. Just put two of the trash nations together and...
Yeah, so just... Man, sad. Sad news from Australian rugby.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not true.
Our brothers, our Antipodian brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well.
What else is on our little news list here? Oh, Callum
Sheedy coming to Cardiff. Yeah.
So
actually, there is good news.
There you go.
Yeah, the prodigal son returns.
The worst 10 in...
The worst 10 in the Gallagher Prem. He's not the worst.
Why do you
10.
think he's leaving?
Ooh.
That's
a good question.
Is this Bristol?
No idea.
Is this Bristol pushing him out, or is this like a personal decision?
Who's their other 10? AJ McGinty, is it?
AJ McGinty.
Yeah, and he's good.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know why he's coming back. Like, I don't think he's particularly in contention for the Wales 10 shirt right now, even though we're pretty short on 10s. So maybe he's coming back because he sees that the 10s we've got, like Sam Costello, are young and inexperienced, and he's thinking if he comes back and he plays well at Cardiff, he jumps into a Wales shirt because he's got the experience to do it.
Do you know how old he is?
I don't. I think he's late 20s. I don't know how old he is, though. But he's definitely older than the other 10s we've got lined up,
Because when I saw this story, I was kind of thinking, like, what's the motivations behind this?
Yeah.
Like, is Bristol kind of done with him?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's Wales' ambitions, to be honest.
You think so?
That's my feeling, yeah. I don't know, though.
How many caps? Can he still get picked?
Well, if he plays in Wales, he can, yeah. Why not?
Is that why he's not being picked? Because he's playing in Bristol?
It doesn't help. It doesn't help if you play in England. Like, if you're playing in England, you better be the best person in that position if you want to get picked for the Wales team, right?
Yeah, because they do preference.
Of course they
Gatlin
do.
preferences
of course he plays
the players.
Yeah, who are playing in Wales. But that's not to say that if you were really good, he wouldn't pick you if you're playing elsewhere, assuming you kind of got the cap rule nonsense working for you. So I think it's Wales' ambitions. Yeah, maybe Bristol are like, we've got AJ McGinty, we're developing other 10s. You're expensive, so piss off. I don't know. It's good for me, though. It's good for Cardiff because Jared Evans, the Judas, left to Harlequins with Dylan Lewis. So, Tynus de Beer, though, let me just say, that guy has been the best thing I've ever bought off Wish.com, Like,
fuck, I love watching him play.
Me too, man. What a player. I love him.
I hope somehow he, gets into the Welsh squad.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Get that little bowling ball in there.
Stocky little South African playing 10 for a save in the day. That guy breaks the line as well. He's a reliable 10.
He's a thick boy.
He wins turnovers. Yeah. And he's got arms like pythons. I got a lot of time for Tynus de Beer.
I do too. Yeah. I love watching him play.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, so...
Yeah, you can see he cares.
Imagine Callum Sheedy came back, couldn't even get Tynus de Beer out of the 10 spot because he's playing too well.
That'd be brutal.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, finally I get to let my wings, loosen up and just get going.
Yeah.
Tynus de Beer, you're starting.
Now he's got this 5'9" built like a brick shithouse guy keeping him at the spot.
Callum, can you grab the water, please? Yeah, put the headphones on.
I'm going back to Bristol.
Yeah.
Please take me back, Bristol.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, that's good news for me. I like Callum Sheedy back at Cardiff. I like Callum Sheedy, let me be clear. And I'm excited for him to come back.
I like Callum Sheedy too.
Yeah.
I just remember when he was first coming up.
Yeah.
He was like all the talk.
He was exciting, wasn't he?
And he kind of disappeared.
He did a bit. Well, Bristol haven't been playing well, that's why, I mean, he's obviously part of that. He's part of the team, but it's like Jack Mercer at Gloucester, isn't it? It's like you can't stick out if you're losing every week as well. But yeah. Tell me, Steve, about the Canadian strategy to save Canadian rugby from Canadian rugby itself.
So I didn't even know that this announced. I pay so little attention to Rugby Canada because I just have so little faith in them.
It's a dumpster fire.
And I was listening to another podcast, Le Rouge Rugby Podcast.
Yeah. Name drop, nice.
Yeah, and they were going over this, so I didn't even know what happened.
Yeah.
And so I was looking into it, and there was so they came up with like a strategic plan for the next 4 to 10 years.
Yeah, it was up to 2027, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 2 things that they highlighted that I thought were kind of crazy.
Like good crazy?
Well, it's hopeful.
Okay.
So they wanted the women to remain in the top 4 of women's rugby.
Realistic, I think. They're a good team.
And the other one was for the men to re-enter the top 12
good luck.
of world rugby.
Good luck.
Now, one of the guys on La Rouge Rugby podcast, they made a point that, like, why isn't the goal for the women to win the World Cup?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good point that they made.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? Let's just stay in the top 4. It should be winning the World Cup.
They've got this insane ambition for the men who are nowhere near breaking the top 12.
Yeah, who makes the goal just to stay in the top 4?
Yeah.
It's just such a weird, like, when you have a team that's as good as they are.
Yeah. Who could win a World Cup, right?
I just think that they are seeing the outline that a lot of us are seeing.
Yeah.
That women's professional rugby is going to leave like, Canada and the United States behind.
Yes. This reminds me of when Canada were considered one of the reasonably good tier 2 nations, right? And we respected them. They'd come to play us, we'd probably beat them, but we respected them, you know? And now we don't. They're shit, right? And this reminds me of how that change is happening now. All the top nations in the world, professionalism has made it so that whenever New Zealand play Namibia, whenever Wales play Chile, well, I don't know, we hope to beat them. But basically, all the tier 1 nations are pretty much guaranteed a win over the tier 2 nations. Not because they're not good. Rightly so, because our professionalism, our structure is so good now, right? At the top, it's hardcore competition, right? And this is what's going to happen with women's rugby. Now that all, the British Isles have professional leagues and teams and are catching up with England and France, that's only going to get better. So when Wales lost to Canada in the summer, the women's team, I was a bit sad because I thought it would be a closer. I thought Canada played really well, but I thought give that 10 years, we'd win that every time, purely because we've got a professional league,
I think I think that's the last time you're going to see, when they beat Wales.
Yeah.
I thought that's the last time you're going to see them beat Wales.
And I don't want to discredit Canada. They've got some really good players. They've got really good squad. But without a professional team to give them regular exposure, that's not going to last forever, is it?
Yeah, so here's my personal take on it.
Yeah.
And Friends of Rugby exclusive. I was thinking about these goals that they had, and I was like, okay, how do you realistically get this done without having any sort of professional setup for these players?
Yeah.
So what I think they should do is that they really want to do this. They got to put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
And create some sort of player pathway to the professional leagues.
Okay.
Saying, hey, if you sign this Canadian player, we're going to subsidize some of their salary for you.
Oh.
To incentivize these professional clubs.
Yeah.
To sign these players.
Yeah.
And to get our players in these professional setups more, to incentivize these players to these professional leagues.
So it's like central contracts.
Yes.
You're saying it's like central contracts, but they can play for anyone else.
Yes.
And they should do because they get exposed to higher level rugby.
So yeah, what Rugby Canada is doing is scouting these players.
Yeah.
Finding these good players in Canada.
Yeah.
And then getting them into professional setups around the world.
Yeah. So then if I'm a French talent scout, if I go and watch a Canadian guy in Canada play, he's really good. I can get him a lot cheaper than I can get a Fijian. And
it would and a lot of teams I think would go for this.
Yeah.
If you can get more guys on your roster that are being paid for by being like their salary being half paid for or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then our players are getting into professional setups.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Canada wins because now they've got players who've been exposed to top level rugby consistently.
Yes.
And they don't need to fly one person from Vancouver to Toronto for a training camp.
No.
He's just already doing it.
The other teams are taking care of it.
He's already doing it.
All their training, all their development is being taken care of by a professional setup.
So outsource your academy to other countries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to
cool idea.
and then when it comes to internationals, now you have like all these players from these top teams around the world. Like I know the women, like a lot of Canadian women are playing pro overseas already.
Yeah.
But there needs to be some sort of program, some sort of pathway program for these players.
Yeah. And Kingsley Jones is the man to do it.
Oh my God! See, that's why I don't pay attention to Rugby Canada at all, because like just like when they said they want to do a culture change.
Yeah.
And like, well, you sign like the worst coach in Canada ever. Like, how is that a change?
He re-signed this dud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Kingsley Jones was pretty good when he's in Wales, but he's obviously not working at Canada, is he? So why do they keep him?
When was he good in Wales?
A while ago. He coached a lot of teams.
Didn't he coach the Dragons? He came from the Dragons, right?
The Dragons used to be good, believe it or not.
When he was around?
Yeah, like the early 2000s when we started the Celtic League. He's a big deal in Wales.
Yeah. But that's my thought. If they're really gonna like want to go for this, if they're actually serious, the only way in my eyes to do this is to make some sort of central contract and start subsidizing their pay so they can get into professional setups.
That's an interesting idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think it'll be cheaper for Rugby Canada in the end too, because they don't have to like make these, like, they don't have to build new facilities and stuff like that, and because they want to do all this building these performance centers around Canada. They want to start off, they want to build 4 more, and then they want to have like 8 across Canada and stuff. It's like, no, just invest in the players. Find the players that are worth investing in.
Yeah.
Get them to where they can learn rugby, where they have the good setups for them to grow their game.
Yeah. I like that idea. The only downside is, if I was playing devil's advocate, if you've got a guy who gets put on a top contract in France, he's getting paid like $500,000, Canada are footing a lot of that bill, and he's injured for an entire season, Canada are just paying for a guy to sit on a French bench.
That's part of every risk, though. That's part of rugby.
I'm just saying Canada can't afford that.
Well, if you look at their goals, like they're about to spend a lot of money all over the place.
Oh, okay.
So they got more money than, like, Canada's not broke.
No, it's not.
Right? So they can afford to put some, and we're talking like players, like these players these aren't Finn Russells.
Yeah.
Right? These are guys that are going to be
Tyler Ardron, Jeff Hassler types, like kind of good.
Well, Tyler Ardron is like really super good. So he would be a player that would.
Is he the next Messi?
Would be hard to subsidize because he's an expensive player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, if you're subsidizing his contract, that's a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a lot of players. You get them in those squads, and then if they grow out of that position, they become like staples for that team. The team can sign them.
Yeah.
And that's the team's thing now.
Yeah.
They want to keep them, right? And he's asking for more money. That's up to the team.
Yeah. I like this idea. It's hard to actually poke holes in it, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my thought. If they really want to make it to the top 12 without any kind of professional setup, that's crazy.
Like, only Argentina do that, and the thing is, Argentina's club level game, like their semi-professional amateur level game, is more established than Canada's, as far as I can see.
Just their player development is like 10 times more than what Canada has.
It is, but it's
more
it's a bigger sport in Argentina, is what I'm saying. And obviously, it's not the biggest sport. Like, football's fucking huge there, right?
Yeah, because it would be like, I don't know what the top sports are, but I know like rugby's up there.
It is up there. We're in Canada, it's not even in the top 5, is it really?
I don't even think it's in the top 10.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, totally. So,
I think... Yeah.
But you know what makes me sad? Every place I've been to in Canada, if it's a big enough city like the one we live in, there are several rugby clubs, with lots of people, men and women, playing. And it's like, why can't we take the next step to have even a semi-professional interprovincial league or something? And I know it's expensive, but it's like they just don't have the ambition to push it to the next level sometimes, There's like 20 teams in our province. Yeah.
Playing all across the province.
Yeah.
And the average person has no idea that there's a rugby league going on.
No, in this city, people don't even know that there are rugby clubs. There's 7 of them or something like that. And they're all reasonably sized clubs with 3 fields each and clubhouses and bars. People don't even know the sport exists, never mind these clubs, So
it's really weird. Yeah, so you can't get into a top 12 with that kind of culture.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
I think I like that idea. We'll have to see what Canadian rugby do, though, because not a lot of faith in them at the minute.
All right, let's stop talking about this bullshit, because I want to get into something that I have been waiting for all year. Rugby Christmas, 6 Nations.
You can hear Tyke Furlong's bells ringing as he mounts his sleigh.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I knock out so many things in my schedule for this shit.
You get more excited for the 6 Nations than a lot of people I know who really like rugby. I mean, you really like rugby.
It's the best.
It is the best.
I love I kind of hate how it's in the morning, but I love having like the people over.
Yeah.
You make a big breakfast.
Yeah.
We're drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
At like 8 a.m.
And everyone's got their little shirts on.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their jerseys on.
I love it.
All you little Canadians. Oh, my dad's grandpa was a Scottish guy. That's why I'm wearing this jersey. Like, everyone gets all excited to tell you about their ancestry.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the guys I was like, that saw the Netflix show.
Yeah.
He's been just messaging me all week about this show.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know, Six Nations is happening starting this weekend. He's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, where can I watch it? I'm like, come over and watch it.
Did you invite him over?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck, I can't wait. So he's been texting me about that. And I'm like, man, you got to pick a team.
Oh, I could, yeah.
You got to pick a team. You know who he picked?
Of course I know who he picked.
Ireland. Ireland. He's like, they're badass.
My grandpa's dog's hamster was from Dublin.
My dog is Dakota Irish.
Fucking plastic paddies everywhere, man.
I think their brand's pretty strong.
It's strong. And you got to remember, like, you know, half of North America probably has some claim to Irish descent, so it's fair enough.
Yeah, everywhere in North America, there's some sort of like heavy Irish immigration. Do
you want me to tell you a funny story about that, though?
Yeah.
So the majority of people in the United States, like the majority of the white population, are of German origin, right? That's the largest diaspora in North America of the white Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as World War II happened, they conveniently forgot about that. Oh, no, we're
Irish
now, yeah. We're Italian. You know, they were fascists as well in World War II. Oh, yeah, don't worry. We're like the fun Italians, you know?
Yeah,
like,
we're the good ones. Like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Baba Booey.
Yeah. So you just pick and choose your lineage now. Good for you. Like, but no, there are a lot of, you know, Irish, and I think there's probably a lot of Scottish people where we live in terms of ancestry as well.
There'd be a lot of Scottish people here,
yeah,
and Irish people.
100%.
Yeah,
and
like even mine. If you go back, like like my great grandmother.
Yeah.
So my great grandmother.
Why don't you support Scotland then?
No, I'm saying they were Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
But I do have some like my last name is Scottish.
It is.
I actually learned it from a doctor, from a Scottish doctor. He's like, oh, your last name, you know where it's from? I'm like, I don't know, France. He's like, no, it's Scottish. I was like, oh.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Why don't I do cheer for Scotland, though.
You do.
That's my order. That's my order of cheering.
So you base it on your perceived lineage.
Yeah, you'd go Ireland, Scotland, then Wales.
Okay.
Those are my top three.
You got some Welsh in you?
No.
You want some?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God damn.
Don't worry, we're more concerned with sheep.
But anyways, you want to do something fun here.
Well, let's do our fantasy Six Nations.
So we're gonna make it like a dream team for Six Nations.
It's not a dream team because a dream team means you can pick anyone. So I'm saying we pick no more than 3 players from each Six Nations nation in our team
for our like top team.
Pick a starting 15. Try and make sure they were picked for the national side and are not injured.
Okay.
Try your best. I'm not going to be that bothered.
I'm hoping is you get the loose head and tight head prop right.
Never.
I hope you got it wrong.
No, I'm going to double down and get it intentionally wrong. Me too, actually. It's getting embarrassing. What is a tight head? What's the difference?
Tight head? Yeah.
All right.
Who do you have for number 1?
Which is a tight head or a loose head?
Loose head.
Thank God. Andrew Porter.
Okay. Oh, you went Andrew Porter.
Yeah. Well, I watched the Six Nations documentary and I just fell in love with his character, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he was good in it. How about you?
Since I can only have 3 from each nation, I went with Schumann from Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah, loose head there.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is good.
Just a fucking little meatball just running around.
He is. I think Scotland's front row is actually kind of underestimated.
Their starting front row.
Yeah, there's no one else. But
after that, it drops off. But those, that Xander, like they're 2 props. Xander Ferguson and Schumann are world class.
They are very good, aren't they?
You're gonna have them on any team.
They don't even look. I know they're probably big guys, but comparatively, they don't look that big. But they're
pretty big. They're fucking pretty big.
Okay.
Like for a loose head, I didn't know that Schumann was a loose head for a long time. I thought he was a tight head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've already established. I have no idea what the difference is, so I'll take your word for it.
Who do you have for hooker?
Dan Sheehan.
Yeah, that's
my
easy.
favorite Irishman. He's class though, isn't he? For such I always love him because for such a young guy, like he's performing at such a high level. You know, and front rows tend to get more experience with age. He's already class.
He's got to be the best. He's the best hooker in Europe.
Probably.
Who's the guy from France though? Oh, I can't remember his name. He's good too.
Why'd you put me on the spot like that? Yeah, that's man.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out.
Yeah, edit that out.
I'll edit that shit right out.
Please.
Number 3.
Who did you go for?
No, I went for Dan Sheehan.
I'm asking for 3.
For 3?
Yeah.
I went with Uini Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's back. He didn't retire.
Right.
Guilty is like, please do not do this.
I I thought he was injured or something, but I don't think he is. I think you're right. I just forgot about him. Squad. He's massive, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a tight head you want.
He's a classic tight head, isn't he? In the Adam Jones mold.
He's just fucking running down the field, a ball in one hand, a bucket of KFC in the other, and he's just fucking chowing down and mowing people down. Yeah. Like, that's the guy you want on your team.
Yeah.
Who did you go for?
Xander Fagerson.
Oh, I originally had him on the thing, but then I ran out. I wanted to use another Scottish player somewhere else. I was like, what am I gonna do? I was like, oh yeah.
Scotland have a pretty tasty backline, so I don't know if I've wasted my prop option on a Scottish player here when I could be cashing in the backline. But I like Xander Fagerson. He's like, he just gives me the feeling that he loves playing for Scotland as well.
Oh yeah,
like he's ferocious when he plays for Scotland. You know, and I just yeah, I like him.
Your locks. You want me to go?
Sure, go first.
For my locks, I chose Joe McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah, I went with the kids.
Yeah.
And David Jenkins.
David Jenkins.
So I said David.
David,
I am the only gay in the village.
Well, I'm glad you picked him.
Yeah. I went with like these guys are.
Is he captaining your fantasy Six Nations? He's not, is he? You're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't care.
No, I have a different captain.
That's fine. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, Dav Jenkins and
Joe McCarthy. Leinster.
Yeah.
Went with the kids this time.
I mean, they're both young, but they're not inexperienced, though, are they?
No.
They're good players. Like, it's not like you're putting faith in some unknown quantity here. So I think they're both pretty solid choices there. Yeah, I went Dav Jenkins and Cameron Wokey. Also similarly younger.
Yeah.
And like both of them like athletic, get around the field. You know, they're just like the kind of up and coming rock stars of the lock position, you know?
And then what about your back three?
Ben Earl, 7. Excited to see him. I'll just go through my whole back three and then I'll let you do it.
Go through your whole back three.
Yeah, and then I went Gregory Aldry, number 8.
Ooh.
And I went for... I was going to go Peter Romani, but I changed it to Tyg Byrne.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's not because like Peter Romani's like obviously really good. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't pick him. There's no weakness there. But I just like Tyg Byrne in terms of... he does a little bit more for me. Like, Peter Romani's a quality leader, but Tyg Byrne, I think he's really good in the line out. He's winning breakdowns, and you see him kind of pop up in the loose every now and again. He's got really good hands, so I just kind of like his vibe a bit more. You know, what about you?
I went with Ben Earls too.
Yeah.
And then I put at number 8.
Yeah.
Kalen Doris.
Yeah.
Had to put him in there.
That 8 was actually difficult for me, so I'm glad you put him in because I nearly put him in myself. Yeah.
And then I threw in Gregory Aldry to the back 3 too because I just want him in there.
Fair enough. Yeah. That is a meaty back row.
Gregory Aldridge is probably he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's class, isn't he?
Yeah, I love watching him play.
He's a monster.
So I had to have him in there.
Yeah, his carries are insane.
Mm-hmm.
But so is Kalen Doris. Like, his carries are really good. He's always pumping those legs, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some of my team's gonna fucking kick your old team's ass.
We'll see.
Who do you have for scrum half there?
Went Thomas Williams.
Oh yeah.
I love Thomas Williams.
Yeah.
He's quality. Like, he's quality. I think like of all the 9s in there, he is the one. He's kind of like an acrobat, you know. Like, he's always just like a hand will pop out of nowhere and grab the ball out of thin air. And he's a pretty hard guy for a smaller scrum half, you know? How about you?
I went for experience. Danny Kerr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes with our theme of the comeback kings, right?
You know, he's to keep all the young kids, you know.
Just keeping them at bay with
focused.
A stick. Yeah, he didn't go Alex Mitchell, eh?
No. No, I picked
I like Danny Kerr. I like Danny Kerr. That's not a bad choice. He always plays well against Wales as well, so
yeah.
Kind of pissed off if he plays against us. Let's go 10.
Finn Russell. That was easy for me.
Oh,
you went with Marcus Smith?
I did because I picked some Scottish guys elsewhere.
Oh,
it's like the Netflix documentary In Our Team. The narrative is here.
Yeah, it is.
You went for the Messi. I went for the Ronaldo.
Yeah. No, I went with Finn Russell.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's just on fire right now.
He didn't
Marcus Smith is too. Marcus Smith has been tearing it up too.
I think the problem with Finn Russell is like there was a while ago where he was like, is he going to have an amazing game or is he going to have a terrible game, right? And then he's been consistent recently until that Bath game against Bristol. I thought he had a bit of a mare, to be honest.
Did he play in that game?
Yes.
He was there?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought he
am
would.
I talking shit?
Yeah, you might be talking shit because he's got to be definitely.
He's probably in the Scotland squad. What
yeah,
am I
there's no
about?
way he's going to be playing.
Yeah, maybe I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
I take it back. He's my number 10. No, it's not. I'm sticking with Marcus Smith.
12, 13.
Okay, this one's a bit left field. I went 12, Sione Tuipulotu.
Okay.
And I went 13, Henry Slade.
Ooh.
And I know Henry Slade is a bit more of a 10-12 kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
he can make it work.
He can make it work.
They fucking switch those guys around.
He's like the Elliot Daly, but better, you know? Utility back who does the utility backing, you know?
LED is the best at every position.
He's got a leg like a cannon.
He's a wing, he's a fullback, he's a fucking center.
He'll prop if you need.
Propping. He's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Tuipulotu, I think.
Should have put him in the team. Fucked up.
Yeah, he can manage it or something. Yeah, who'd you go to centers?
I went Cameron Redpath. That Finn Russell, Cameron Redpath.
Oh, the Axis. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I went with George North.
Oh.
Red and blue makes purple.
Poor George. Poor George. I just want him to. He hasn't done anything impressive in a while. He's solid, but like
he's good.
He's good, but like for his size and speed, he should be just like mauling opponents. You know, just like I remember him 10 years ago. Like he'd leave people in his dust. They'd be like guys hanging off his legs and stuff.
You gotta have faith. Watch him this year.
I hope. But I've been saying that for a while, man. I've watched George North's entire career, and like he hasn't got that spark anymore. I don't think.
I don't know. I still think he's got it.
He's good, man. He's good.
He doesn't know where he is, or he can't count to 10, but he knows he can play rugby still.
Fair enough. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, back three. This is gonna be great.
Okay, so you may have noticed neither of us have picked an Italian. So for my fullback, I went Ange Capuozzo.
Did you say that right?
No,
isn't it Capuzzo?
Capuzzo.
I don't know.
Okay, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he's good though.
He's good. Heartbreaker.
It's been a while.
Breaking Welsh hearts.
He like kind of broke that Italian like you saw the Italian teams and like I bet you the average person didn't know like who anyone was on the Italian teams, but he's like a rock star. Like everyone knows who he is.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he got signed for. They went to Toulon, didn't he? Like as soon as they were like, "Oh, this guy's good. Let's get him."
Yeah. I know he plays in the top 14. I don't know what team he plays for.
I think it's Toulon. Yeah, I think so. But but he was an easy choice. Then I went for Damien Penaud.
Oh yeah,
absolute man. And just his stats alone, you don't even need to see him play. Just look at his stats. That guy's going in your team, right? And then I went for Duhan van der Merwe for my third Scottish pick.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, just for that game against England he played. I mean, he's still good generally, but like he steps up for Scotland.
I went with Josh Adams.
Good.
Because
I think
I love him.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Thomas Ramos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to have him.
He's a bit versatile as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do other things.
I want to put Penaud in the team, but your fucking rules. I can only have three. I was like, fuck. And I didn't want to take out Uini or Aldred. So I was like, and then our captain, the captain of my dream team is Emmanuel Veyi-Waboso.
You piece of shit, Steve.
Yeah, so that's my captain of my team there.
Oh, mate.
English,
absolute
the pride of England.
Oh, you scum. You did that. Oh. Do you know
God save us.
Oh, stop it.
Be there.
Stop it.
That's the anthem for the team.
My tiny black heart.
And that is the dream teams.
He's not really your captain, is he?
Yeah, I got to see right here. Captain.
Okay.
Put it right there. See? Captain on my notes.
Such a wind-up, man.
Yeah, there he is.
All right, fair enough.
Coming in, leading the charge.
Do you think he's going to get picked?
Oh, 100%.
Just like give him 2 minutes?
I think so. I think when Kokonasigan wasn't in the squad, that power winger role, it's going to him.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Oh, no.
Once in a generation.
Oh, don't, man.
Yeah. Man, that is like fucking gnarly.
The more I think about it, like it hurts so much more now. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh, it's a very sensible decision. Well done. Now I'm just like, you motherfucker, come back. Why have you done this?
Yeah, I'm not even Welsh. It have made me upset.
I know.
You know,
I think it's just because we needed a win. We needed a win, you know.
We got to be clear about this, though. We cannot blame him.
No, I blame the WRU. I'm just very upset. He's a quality guy. I wish him the best, but also
I kind of blame him a little bit.
Judas, come back.
There's no way I'd play for Team USA.
Yeah,
there's no way.
So
no way I would do it.
You know, when we were talking the other day, we were going to do this thing where we were going to have our predictions, and then at a certain point we would look back, and whoever loses the most predictions, you were like, okay, you would have to wear an England shirt, right? And I was like, I just couldn't do, like, I couldn't. Like, you know, if I'd have bet my house on it and lost, and the consequence was wearing it, I just wouldn't do it. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I could wear a US jersey.
But that's what I'm saying. The stakes aren't the same. Yeah. Like I know that the rivalry between Canada and the US is there.
Yeah, it's a rivalry. It's not like a hatred. I could wear a USA jersey.
It's not, it's not years of oppression of our language and our people. Sort of.
Oh man, we should have made those bets.
I'm not. I just now I'm glad
that was a good losing bet though.
We can still make the bet. I'm just never putting on an England jersey. I just don't. I couldn't do it
for the bet.
No, not for the bet.
The bet was, if you guys didn't know, sorry, we're talking out of context here, but we were gonna compile our predictions, and whoever had the worst had to have a punishment. And my punishment for Frank was he'd have to do a photo shoot in an England jersey, and like him like hugging trees and running his hands through streams and stuff like that, like something romantic.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. No way.
You couldn't even think of anything for me.
Well, that's the thing. Like, maybe making you wear like a US jersey, but it's not. It's not the same. The stakes aren't the same.
No,
we wouldn't like it.
Yeah. But it has to be something like extreme. I don't know.
You wouldn't have to have a bleach bath after it for an hour, though, would you? So, I don't know. We'll have to think of something good.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, emails up. What should our rugby punishments be for being shit at predictions?
Yeah. I think we're both pretty good, actually, though. I think it'll be close.
Have we been close?
I mean, we've got some wrong.
Well, let's do some predictions for next weekend.
Yes, that's where we'll finish, eh?
So, Friday, we have Ireland, France.
That's the hardest to predict for me.
It is a hard game to predict.
That is a hard game to predict. Sorry, where is it? Dublin?
No, it's in France.
It's in France.
No, it's in Dublin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Is it in Dublin or is it in France? No, it's in France.
Okay.
Let me look this up here. I'm for sure it's in France.
Yeah.
Let's go over here. Should have had this fucking open.
That's okay.
Friday.
Finn Russell did play. I was Googling it. Finn Russell
he did play?
Yeah, I thought I was going insane. Good. I thought I was going insane, but yeah.
So yeah, Ireland are going to France.
Ireland are going to France. That makes it... Okay, so a couple of things I'm thinking. Dupont... And France have some injuries. Like, Ireland are in decent shape in terms of injuries. Like, they haven't got too many important people missing right now.
I don't think Dupont's playing.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're missing him because he's not injured. He's just off elsewhere, isn't he? And France have some other significant injuries. Home advantage, that's a coin toss for me. That's a real coin toss. I think France. I'm going to say France. And the reason I'm saying that is...
Purely home field
advantage. And I think they will... I think they've got a bit more of a point to prove right now. Like, getting dumped out of their own World Cup. I think they're going to be quite fired up to re-announce themselves on the international stage. That is a hard game to call, though. That could go either way.
See, I feel like it's having, like, them being, like, taken out in the quarterfinals having a negative effect. Like, really? Almost like a hangover. The hangover's gone.
Yeah.
They had that drive, like, oh, this is our year.
Yeah.
Now that it's over with, the kind of wind has been taken out of their sails.
You could say the same thing for Ireland equally, though, couldn't you?
I don't think Farrell would ever let them get there.
You don't think so?
No, he's too good of a coach.
I think Galtier and Sean Edwards, though,
Galtier's a good coach, too.
And they're quality as well, so...
I fucking have no idea who's going to win this game.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's a hard game.
I'm giving it to France because I have to do something, and they've got home advantage. That's it. That's what I'm going for.
I'm going to go Ireland.
Okay.
I'm going to go Ireland.
Okay, I'm not wearing an England jersey, though. And that's not, like, regardless. It's not happening.
Just get the fucking England jersey out of your brain.
I'm putting it in the
You're
spreadsheet.
Like haunted.
I am.
You're going to fucking nightmares tonight.
Just not doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ireland. And it's going to be like a fucking, like, 14 to, like, 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the score. It's going to be low scoring and tight. Yeah.
It'll be good, though. I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah.
Like, really high intensity, high skill kind of game.
I have to make up an excuse for work to go and watch it. It's on at 1. It's on at 1 p.m. on Friday.
Can you want to just bail on work? We can go to a bar.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bail on work.
Let's do it.
And then Saturday morning. Well, I guess it's Saturday evening. Saturday. Italy versus England.
Okay, I want to say one thing. I'm excited about this game because I'm excited about a lot of the England players coming through. So I would normally think that's a foregone conclusion. But because I've been really following the Gallagher Prem and I've been following, like, Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, I don't think they'll play necessarily. Yeah. Although I'm not wearing the jersey, you've got a lot of time and respect for them and their players. So I know genuinely, though, because I've been following the Gallagher Prem a lot, like I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see a lot of these English players play. They've got a really exciting squad. I'd be super excited if I was an England fan right now. So I want to, but I think England are going to win, obviously. Yeah.
The only thing I want out of this game is a game.
You just want Italy to put up a fight.
I want a fight. I want a game.
Yeah.
So
I just don't want to see another Squidge rugby video where he tells me they're going to be amazing next year and this shit. You know, because I can't deal with the optimism.
Squidge rugby is the ultimate rugby gaslighter.
He's just an optimist. He's just an optimist. But it's there's only so much. He did make me believe several times.
He's so good at what he does.
He tells me about the Italy under-20s squad and how good and exciting they are, and then like, okay, well,
I just want a game. England's going to win this game.
Yeah, of course they are.
It's even in Italy.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
But I would love an upset, but...
No, I don't think so.
Or just even a close game.
No, I think England will win by 10, 15 points, which that makes it sound close, but...
oh, man.
I think they'll win by 2 scores at least.
We just need something from Italy. That's all I want.
One thing about that Netflix documentary, I don't think Kieran...
They made that team look grim.
They did, didn't they?
They made the atmosphere look...
Well, the coach didn't help, though. He was just like... It was like... One of the things he said, it was like, don't drop the ball. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like...
Yeah, you could tell like that whole atmosphere did not feel good.
No, it didn't.
That was we should have talked about that earlier, but that's what it just looked. But he's gone.
Yeah, he is.
So Kieran Curley's up.
So maybe fresh coaches often bring out a bit of a spark at the start.
I think they needed that because like when you watch that coaching team in that documentary, they looked like done.
Yeah, they did.
They were defeated. They were just kind of tired.
Yeah.
That whole squad. Yeah, I don't know. That could be editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the way it was presented, it looked grim.
It did,
like, oh, fuck.
It wasn't like grim in a funny way either.
No.
It was like this coach is just like, you're all shit and I hate you and
I'm
leaving.
It was depressing and sad. Like,
yeah. What's he called? Kieran Crawley? Keep confusing him with Frawley.
I already did that like 4 episodes ago.
Yeah, but no, he didn't come across well, to be honest.
He was good when he coached Canada.
But have him back if you want.
Yeah. So I think it's just the whole Italian setup. Like he was kind of fighting against.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully we have a game. That's all I want. And then the game of games on Saturday. This one you're going to be excited for.
Going to just be a wreck.
Scotland going to Wales.
Bony wee Scotland coming to Cardiff. Yeah.
All right, Doomsday Frank.
My heart says Wales. My head says Scotland. Like Scotland's squad is just on paper better, right? It is. You can't deny it. Every one of those positions is filled by an experienced quality player. Gatland has pretty much said this is a rebuild year, which sometimes sounds like an admission of we're fucked anyway. I think we'll put up a fight. Like it'll be a close game. And I think we always surprise people, don't we? Like write Wales off at your peril kind of thing. But this might be the year. Like we don't have like the old guard to fall back on though. We haven't got Alan Wynne, Ken Owens, like to kind of lead the boys, So I'm worried.
From all the years watching rugby, I've come to believe one thing.
Yeah.
The Gatlin factor.
Yeah. Never
the Gatlin factor is a real thing.
Yeah.
And especially like Gatlin and Wales.
Don't discount a Welsh man putting on a Welsh jersey either.
Yes.
Like it means so much to us, Not that I've done it, but you know what I mean? Like
Gatlin's good at bringing that out.
He is. He knows how to hack into that pride, doesn't he?
Like from what I heard about him, he's a real passion coach.
He is.
Like he gets these guys fired up.
Yeah.
And he's really good at doing that.
I remember this story. It's a coaching story, and he had all the players on the field, and it was during the time of Mike Phillips, who's a famous ego, and he says, "Put your hand up if you think you're the best player in your position," and only Mike Phillips puts his hand up, right? Because he's Mike Phillips. And that's the kind of thing that Gatlin's good at tapping into, right? It's like, if you don't think you are, like, why not, and what can we do about it? Like he really knows how to access the emotional energy of a player, and he'll call other teams. It's like when England beat New Zealand in that semi-final in the World Cup in 2019. He called it, right? He's like, England have just played their final. That was all their emotional gas in one game. And he was right, man. He was totally right.
Yeah, he plays mind warfare.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, he does mind warfare really well.
Do you know what? I'm saying Wales. Screw it.
Oh, you're going Wales.
Of course I am.
Wales
never in doubt.
Holy smokes, Scotland.
Yeah. That's a good stadium to play in. That's a good crowd.
I'm going to go with Wales too.
Yes.
I think Wales are going to take it.
We're back, baby.
I want Scotland to win.
Ardderchog.
Because I want Scotland to do something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at home, that passion.
Yeah.
If this was in if this was at Murrayfield, if this was in Scotland,
yeah,
I would pick Scotland to win this.
Fair enough.
I just think that home ground like that.
It's a big deal.
I think
Especially
it's a big deal.
In Wales. Yeah.
And the players, like, those players are hearing all that, like they're like the aura around the team is kind of negative from the fans, from the media.
We love that as well.
Oh, these guys aren't going to mount too much.
That. Yeah.
So that they got something to prove.
Yeah, they do.
So I think Wales are going to come out hot.
That's right.
Out of the gate.
Get under Finn Russell's skin. Make him have a terrible game. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, you just put pressure on him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be the main conductor of that team.
He's his own worst enemy sometimes, right? Like you put the wrong kind of pressure on him, or the right kind of pressure, and he'll start trying to do all these fancy passes. He'll throw an intercept. He'll knock it on in his own half, stuff like that.
I'm also, like, when it comes to test rugby, Finn Russell's kind of hot and cold.
He's still got a little bit to prove internationally, isn't he? Like he's quality, but he's still too hot and cold to be reliable at 10,
to me, he's the best 10 that's never a best 10 when you need him to be the best 10.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about him.
No, totally.
And I think the team, like the Scotland team, is like good enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
But I think there's just a lot of external factors going on. Like you said, the home, the passion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Wales can pull this one out.
And we like going under the radar, right? Like no one expects us to win this game. So that's where we thrive, in our pettiness.
So out of petty.
A petty little Wales win.
The petty little Wales win.
Or, Jam Slam's back on. Red card in the first 10 minutes against Zanga Ferguson.
Jam slam. They could always do a jam slam.
Give me that blueberry jam.
Just getting their asses kicked and then somehow win.
Yes.
By like 15 points.
Yes. Love it. We're just going to wait for the ref to not look, take a tap and go, score, and then he's going to be, that's probably fine.
To me, Wales is like probably the most exciting team for me this year.
Because it's such an unknown?
Because of how it's just like thrown together. Their lack of, like, they're missing all these players and all this shit happening on the outside and stuff. And Gatland's got to take all these, like, he's got to rely on a bunch of players he's never had to rely on before.
Yeah.
And to see that come together, that's exciting for me.
It is. We slow starters in the Six Nations as well, but this is probably the only game, except the Italy game, which we've got a realistic chance of winning comfortably. Comfortably is not even the right word, of winning. Like, I can't see us beating England, Ireland, or France, actually. So, we got to win this game.
Do you know if they have England at home or away?
We're playing Ireland in Dublin. I think we're playing France, I think, in Cardiff. I shouldn't say this out loud because I'm not too sure. And I think England in... I'm just going to be wrong, and I have no idea. I think we're playing Ireland in Dublin though, because I can't see us winning that game. Like, Ireland are too good for us right now, and especially away.
Yeah, like
you got it.
Yeah, Wales goes to England,
Twickenham. So we're playing France in Cardiff, and then Ireland and England away.
Yeah. So you got you're at Ireland away.
Yeah.
England away.
Yeah.
And I think, the French come to you guys.
Okay. So
that's a tough Six Nations.
It is a tough Six Nations. It's already tough. Never mind those away fixtures. So anyway, I think Wales will win that game because I want to say that.
Oh, I can't wait.
I want to believe.
I cannot wait for kickoff.
Oh, I'm going to be a mess.
This is exciting.
I'm going to be a mess.
This is the happiest time of year.
For you?
Yeah. It's February, Six Nations, my birthday.
This is like exams in university season for me. Either it's the best or the worst thing ever.
You got to reignite your love.
I love it.
Because I still have child eyes for this sport.
I
haven't been beaten to death by having a passion for a team.
But I've had such highs, Oh, the highs are amazing. They're the best days of my life. In a pub in Cardiff, beating England like 30 points to 3. What a day. What a fucking day. But could be the worst week of my life next week, All
right. So basically all we have to worry about now is finding excuses to get out of work.
Oh, easy.
And then
I shouldn't say that out loud.
And then get to a pub on Friday.
Yes.
Oh, that is 100% happening.
That sounds fun. And that's a game I have not emotionally invested in the same way. So I'm very happy to sit in a pub on Friday and watch that game. Yeah. Quality.
All right. Well, friends, I think we discussed everything we wanted to discuss today.
That's good.
If you guys have any questions for us, you can email us at thefriendsofrugbypod@gmail.com.
It's got a ring to it. We didn't have any fan questions this week. Maybe
no, we didn't.
Shit now.
Yeah, it was sad. The email was just empty.
Please, fan, send us a question.
Please, fan, send us some questions.
Just one.
All right, friends.
Morsel.
Have a good night.
Take it easy.